you! This game sucks! The Last Guardian is a huge piece of shit developed by Team Ico that also made the game Ico and then Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus, which was actually good. The game is a single-player only, story, narrative-driven puzzle platformer, in case all you knew from the trailer was that there's a giant bird, cat, and dog thing in it. That story being, there's a boy and a dog, and they go through a world together. And that's it. A story that's told through expository narration because the character doesn't even speak English. The Last Guardian has the single worst case of shitty camera control movement I've ever seen. So technically in the settings you can adjust the speed at which the camera moves, but all that does is tell you the final total speed. It doesn't tell you the acceleration or how many times it'll stop and stutter along the way. So if you want to pan the camera up, it goes First there's a second of nothing, then there's a slow wind up, there's a delayed response, and then it violently shakes. That's your camera in this game. The camera that also moves on its own for no reason when you're not looking at anything and you're like, wait, is this a cutscene? Is something happening? No, the camera just decided, the camera got bored with you standing there, not knowing what the hell to do because the game is confusing as shit. So it decided to just play to keep itself interesting, which is what you're gonna have to do because this game sucks! And during some of the only few cutscenes, there'll be little button prompts to check if you're still awake. It's basically the press F to pay respects thing from Call of Duty. And the controls are terrible. If you turn around too fast, he'll fall down! The jumping could not be less precise than it is. It is a wild-ass guess where the hell you're gonna end up. And when you're climbing chains, going up on the stick is going up the chain, and going down on the stick is going down on the chain. So it's not like you can spin the camera and then look in a direction. So to jump, you have to push sideways. You have to time your jumps looking sideways at where you can't even see where you're gonna land because the camera's looking this way. And then when he does finally jump, it's all like... So in the game, Trico doesn't like these eyes, so he won't go anywhere if these little eye mirror things are. And like, okay, I gotta smash it. I see. So I gotta jump from the right chain to the next right chain to like make the whole thing swing, and then I gotta jump on the ball so that it swings into the eye and breaks it. Cool, good puzzle design. Or not. Or you just go up and push it off. Just climb the whole damn chain. So what is all this random shit here for then? So what the hell is this? Why is that even there if it's not part of the level? You're just gonna deflect me off and send me to my death? Oh no, don't worry, Trico's gonna jump to it later in a scripted sequence. This game, the gameplay of this game is jump on Trico, spam right bumper, and pray he goes in the correct direction. There are no commands for Trico, there is no way to control him. You have a button, and it says, command Trico. That game tells you, oh, to command Trico, press right bumper. Command him to do what? Move forward, move back, jump, attack, anything? Any gameplay input from the player at all? You can't steer him, you can only point in certain directions, and he sometimes will just ignore you. He'll like go, ah, he'll roar at you, he'll acknowledge that you pushed the button, and then do nothing. He'll sit down on his ass.
We addicted. Yeti.
It's not a puzzle game. There's no puzzle mechanics. There's no figuring out what to do. It's just combing the world to try to find a dinky, tiny little hole to crawl through because the world is so shitty and poorly designed. You're not even sure if you can go through certain places. And then being like, I guess I gotta get Trico to push me up there because the game really, really discourages you from looking up, the direction you usually have to travel, because the camera goes like this. And then when you try to look back down, it just goes boom. It's like, what the hell is this camera? That's the game. That's the whole game. 90% of the game, getting on Trico and waiting for him to go. It's essentially a long, drawn-out cutscene, except there's a button prompt, or you think it's a button prompt, because you don't know, you can't rely on the controls, because the controls, you don't know what they actually do. I'm spamming right bumper. Am I pushing forward? Am I holding it down and letting it go? The game doesn't tell you jack shit. And because you have no way to communicate with Trico, Trico doesn't know what the hell you want him to do. The game is so slow and pretentious, too. It's like, when you do call Trico, it's like, Trico, come here. He'll go. It's like, hurry up, come on, I got a life to live, let's go! The primary method of progressing through the game is the Trico command. Getting Trico to continue, to move on. Because you can't do shit without him, because he's this giant-ass dog, so you jump and climb on him in this really weird effing clippy-looking animation where you hang upside down. And then you get on Trico and you say, Trico, go that way. And he ignores you. He just doesn't do shit. And it's like, Trico, let's go. Trico! Trico! Actually, it's realistic that it's like that, because Trico is a wild, feral animal, and of course, he wouldn't listen to your every command. Could you just say? So, we can have a story-based reason for a game to not work now? That's okay? That's what these people are getting themselves to sleep at night? This buyer's remorse shit? Because you spent $60 on a 6 to 7 hour game that sucks and that you can't finish? Because it's so broken and boring? What is gaming now? What is it? If in Dark Souls, you had to push right bumper 7 or 8 times before he swung the sword, would people be okay with that? If in Call of Duty, you had to push right bumper 8 or 9 times to throw the grenade, or right trigger 6 or 7 times before you'd fire the gun, is that okay? Oh, it's a gun. It's supposed to jam every once in a while. That's realistic. By that broken-ass pretentious logic, we should be having to stop and push a button to breathe every 5 seconds. You can kiss my ass with that bullshit excuse for a broken game and a mechanic that simply does not work. It's like the game is fighting you the whole way and it doesn't want you to finish it. And sometimes Trico will move on his own and it'll be like, okay, I know you can do that because you're doing it now. So he'll stand up on 2 legs and create a bridge to connect to a high ledge you gotta go, so you just climb up him. But the level design is so shitty, you can't tell if that's just there to look pretty as a decoration or if that's where you're actually supposed to go. See, look at this, alright? So Trico will jump up here and I'll be like, oh, I see, I gotta climb up the grass and then get on his tail. So he's like filling in the gap between little platforming sections. That could have been cool. But no, you can't reach his tail, and then he just jumps back down, and then you climb on him, and then he jumps back up, and then he just passes out of the level. It's like, oh, okay, so maybe now here I'm supposed to jump down there and explore. Oh, no, I guess not. What about here? Nope, Trico's just gonna do everything. So just put down your controller, go get a sandwich, go get your wife to make you a sandwich, because men don't make sandwiches, come on. And apparently Trico runs on glowing barrels, because he eats them and then he gets better and heals, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if they're necessary, or if they're collectibles, because sometimes they're sitting in the game world and you can just continue and move without them. And sometimes the whole game will stop and be like, go get Trico some barrels. And it's like, okay, you pretentious turd, eat it yourself, alright? I'm not gonna throw it at your face. You can reach that, alright? I've seen your neck extend, you lazy mutt. So all this game has is this emotional attachment bond bullshit, and you know, it's kind of hard to get emotionally attached to something that ignores me and makes my job harder. So you'll go outside and there'll be a puddle, and Trico will like get excited because he's a dog and he likes water, and he'll roll around in it, and oh, realistic cute dog, 10 out of 10. And you'll look outside and some pretty music will play, and the grass will move in the wind at f***ing 3 frames per second, and the light will be on and be like, oh, moving grass, it's beautiful, 10 out of 10.
But between those moments, The Last Guardian is a mess of wonky controls, a poor camera, and some annoyingly finicky puzzles. The problem here is that there were countless times when I mentally solved the puzzle and knew exactly what to do, only to find that Trico stubbornly refused to go to the spot I needed him to get to.
Damn it, so when IGN actually does something right, I'm gonna stick up for them. Marty Slade was one of the few people who actually took off points for a shitty camera, a shitty frame rate, and near impossible controls. And look at the like ratio on that video. What? You people haven't played the game yet, because the game wasn't out at the time of that video. So how would you know if he's right or wrong? You're disliking a video because he had the balls to say something negative about a hyped game to warn you about something bad before you drop down $60 on a game? What is wrong with you people? There is no story, there is no acting, there is no plot, you just move through the world. And there's a couple super vague crap. Oh, there's an enemy evil Trico with red purple eyes. Oh, there's these weird pictures that Trico's afraid of. I bet it means something. I don't give a f***. The whole game rides on the fact that there's something cool to get to. There's going to be a cool emotional cutscene or something good will happen. And that's why you try to push yourself through this unbearably painful, boring, shitty game. There are no puzzle mechanics. You know, the idea is kind of good. You know, the character design on Trico is kind of good. I like how he looks. It's a bird, dog, cat thing. And his feathers move in the wind. That's the only cool looking effect in the game are Trico's feathers. And it's a good idea for a game. It's like, hey, have a little kid who can fit in small spaces and who is more maneuverable. And then have this giant-ass dog who can fight and kill shit and can reach really high places. But, oh, he's also heavy. So if they had platforming sections where you switch between them, or it's like, oh, Trico will fall through the floor if you go there, so I need the kid to go get and do something for me. And then the kid's chased by these evil demon things, which just suck. All you can do is run into them and then hope they drop you in the right direction after you spam all the buttons to get out of them. Oh, speaking of spamming the buttons, every time you die, the load screen comes up, you'll see all these symbols. You have to push one of the 8 face buttons, including the D-pad and the 4 shapes, on the PS4 controller to make them all go away. So one button push means one symbol gone. So you have to spam the buttons every time you die, just on the load screen, to get back into the game. Go to hell with that bullshit. And the kid can die if he falls too high a distance, but like obviously in real life, like, oh, if he fell that far, he'd die. So if he falls like 20, 30 feet, he'll hit the ground, and then he'll limp, like, oh, I have a broken leg, and he'll move at like an inch per hour for like the next 20 seconds until his magic bones heal and now he's fine. So in trying to introduce a sense of realism, like, oh, he would be hurt after that jump, it throws immersion out the window because then he's not hurt in 10 seconds. And all it does is keep you from immediately trying again by punishing you and making you wait 20 seconds before you can try the damn puzzle again, just so it can not work and ignore you. This game is fucking broken. There are no puzzle mechanics. It's not like Portal where you steadily get more gadgets and pieces of equipment to then use and connect the line or to get to a location or something. It's climb through the one place I can climb in the level, use my shiny light thing, push a button or just push a thing off the ledge, and then you win. That's not a puzzle. That's a chore. That's giving you tasks. That's like a job. And last time I checked, I should get paid when I do a job, not the other way around. The only puzzles in the game are these barrel puzzles where you can't pick up a barrel, you can't put it on a ledge that you could clearly reach. No, you have to walk up a curved ramp and then throw the barrel with the game's shitty-ass throwing mechanic where you have effing clue jack where it's gonna go, and then hope the barrel stays where it lands and doesn't roll back off and then go back up. They have a puzzle of getting the barrel up to ground level so you can feed it to Trico. That is only a puzzle, and because the game knows it's hard, because the game knows it doesn't control. And then you have shit like this, where you don't even know that you're supposed to get Trico to do something. Oh, I'm caught in a branch. I have 4 different buttons. Am I supposed to wriggle? Am I supposed to just spam the button till I come free? Am I supposed to wait for a cutscene? Is there like a, oh, I gotta swing, like push it and then push it again and like get the right thing going? No, Trico just comes and saves you. Or at least that's what you figure out, so you push the right bumper button, and then Trico comes and tries to save you and fails and falls back down, so you gotta call him again, and again, and again, and again. I was hanging in that tree for 10 damn minutes. That's gameplay these days. Calling somebody to come do something for you. Not to mention the fact that the game runs like garbage, which is to say, it doesn't run at all, because garbage just sits there and stinks, and raccoons come and eat it. It doesn't run, it doesn't move. When the game does occasionally get back up to 30 frames per second, it looks like 1,000, because you've been sitting through this slideshowy ass stuttery bullshit. The game that has graphics that could have been done on the PS3 runs this badly? Are you shitting me right now? A game where they had 10 damn years to polish and they switched it over to a new console generation. The same game with a gigantic power boost still runs this shittily is pathetic and unacceptable. The whole time I'm playing this game, I'm like, I would just rather be playing something else. I did not have a lick of fun playing The Last Guardian. I'm like, can I go back and play Rainbow Six Siege now? It's like, Wesley, no. No. This is the new game that's out. You have to review it. You have to warn people how shitty it is. You have to keep playing it, because if you don't finish it, people won't take you seriously. Wesley, you gotta... Damn it. Oh, sorry, the Rainbow Six Siege servers crashed again because a year later it's still broken. Okay, I'll try Last Guardian again. Wesley, good. Alright, you're coming back. Giving it another shot. I know it sucks, but you gotta get through it, alright? This is your job. You're a game reviewer. Keep playing it. No, I know it doesn't work. I know the mechanics are shit. I know there's nothing you can do except pray that it continues. But Modern Warfare Remastered is out, and I still haven't reviewed that, Wesley. No, come on, you...
UAV recon standing by. We're about to win this one. Keep up the fire. Airstrike standing by. Friendly airstrike on the way.
Now, from the time I started playing the game, I knew it was going to get a ridiculously low score. But when they reused a previous level in the game, and Trico actually started going backwards, I drew the line.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther. I will make them pay for what they've done.
Alright, and don't get me wrong, I'm all for emotional storytelling and atmospheric music and cool world-building lore and stuff like that. But not when that's all the damn game offers. That always comes secondary. That stuff makes a good game great. It doesn't make a bad game good. I would have rather the game had been a damn walking simulator where you don't actually have gameplay and I can just walk around and explore the world, because then nothing is preventing me from enjoying what the game might have to offer. But when you add shitty broken controls and mechanics, I can't. I'm glad that video games are getting more cinematic and getting more mature with their writing and their themes, but sometimes they go too far. And even then, at that point, why not just make a movie? Oh, I'll tell you why, because you can't charge $60 for a movie. At the end of the day, I guess you could say you liked the story and you thought it had good moments and music and it touched you or moved you in here a little bit, but you can't deny it's a poorly made game. And I refuse to forgive that. Last Guardian gets a 1 out of 10. Shitty ass game!